8:45. This is a Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. 609 new COVID-19 cases as Minuwangoda cluster surges. Police media spokesman rejects the claim that some social media elements spreading wrong information of locking down Colombo area or imposing a full-scale curfew. Beruwela Fisheries Harbour closed off after COVID-19 exposure. The Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that Sri Lanka is firm in the commitment to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. The Department for Registration of Persons halts services until further notice. Selecting the families for the National Work Plan to empower families through domestic economy and improving nutrition will be completed soon. China warns UK not to offer citizenship to Hong Kong residents. In sports news, the IPL match between Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians is being played at Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Chennai Super Kings in trouble. More than 600 new cases of the coronavirus have been reported in Sri Lanka, further increasing the total number of COVID-19 cases in the Minuwangoda cluster. A total of 609 new cases have been reported so far today, according to the National Operations Centre for the Prevention of the COVID-19 outbreak. It said that 496 of these cases are connected to the Palyagoda fish market, while another 48 are apparel factory workers and contacts who are already in quarantine. Another 20 are from the Beruwela Fisheries Harbour, 5 from the Galle Fisheries Harbour and 40 contacts. Accordingly, the total number of positive cases reported from the Minuwangoda COVID-19 cluster has climbed to 3,426. Meanwhile, police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana rejected the claims that some social media elements are spreading wrong information of locking down Colombo area or imposing a full-scale curfew. The media spokesman further said no such decisions have been taken so far. Meanwhile, it is also revealed that the lady from a leading bank in Colombo who contracted the novel coronavirus had visited 4 market outlets in the Panadura area. Therefore, it was decided to temporarily close down the 4 respective sales outlets as a precautionary measure. Chairman of the Presidential Task Force for Economic Revival and the Elimination of Poverty, Basil Rajapaksa says, selecting the families for the National Workplace to empower families through domestic economy and improving nutrition will be completed soon. Mr. Basil Rajapaksa made these remarks at a progressive review meeting held on this subject at Temple Trees today. The household domestic economy can be developed through livestock development and aquatic resources development. This national work plan is jointly implemented with the support of the Agricultural Department, the Agrarian Services Department, the Samurdhi Department, and the Coconut Cultivation Board at each district level. The fisheries harbour in Beruwela has been closed after 20 fish vendors were exposed to COVID-19. In addition, the Beruwela Pradesha Sabha building and the Alutgamba fish market were also temporarily closed due to the prevailing situation. Nearly 700 fishermen, vendors and their contacts are expected to be referred to PCR tests today. Health authorities had carried out 100 random PCR tests at the fisheries harbour yesterday in the light of the increasing number of COVID-19 infections connected to the Palyagoda fish market. The virus-positive vendors at the fish market harbour have been identified as residents of Beruwela, Maggona, Munghena, Nalahena, Morgolla and the Maradana areas. The Kalutara District Administrative Public Health Inspector of the National Institute of Health Sciences said results of 74 PCR tests carried out at the Alutgama bus stand on Wednesday had revealed that a fish vendor from the Alutgama area had contracted the virus. Subsequently, the samples from the Beruwala Fisheries Harbour tested at the Jayawardhanapura University laboratory confirmed 20 positive cases, he added. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999.
We continue with local news. Chairman of the National Movement for a Just and Fair Society, Karu Jayasuriya, said his movement will extend its fullest support to establish a new constitution with the sole objective of ensuring democracy. Mr. Jayasuriya also expressed satisfaction about the administration and rule of the present President and Prime Minister during the last 11 months. Karu Jayasuriya made his remarks at a media conference held in Colombo today. Wife of the leader of the National Tawfiq Jamaat organization, Abdul Qadar Fatima Hadia, had been summoned today to the Presidential Commission probing the Easter Sunday attacks. The Attorney General's department recorded a statement and some evidence from Fatima Hadia behind closed doors. The Department for the Registration of Persons has decided to suspend its public services, including the one-day service, due to the prevailing COVID-19 situation in the country. Thereby, its headquarters and all provincial offices will remain closed until further notice, the Commissioner General of the department said in a notice published today. However, issuance of national identity cards, NICs, will continue to be carried out at departmental units in divisional secretariats, the notice read further. Clients who have already made prior appointments to obtain their NICs and have not yet submitted their applications have been requested to hand over the applications to the Grama Niladhari of their respective areas or divisional secretariats as soon as possible. Minister Mahinda Amarweera has instructed the Central Environment Authority to take legal action against all factories and business establishments that have been built without environmental reports and discharge pollutants into the Kalani River. He pointed out that the main source of water that meets the requirements of water for the people in Colombo and its environments is the Kalani River. Environmental organizations have complained to the minister that a huge environmental pollution has taken place due to the discharging of pollutants directly into the Kalani River by such establishments. There are about 7,000 factories on both sides of the Kalani River from Kaduwela to the Paliagoda Bridge. It has been revealed that only 3,000 have obtained environmental reports. 13 teams of the Central Environmental Authority are conducting a survey since Monday. Minister Amarweera has asked them to hand over the report to him soon. The minister has instructed the relevant authorities to take legal action to close down factories if they do not take steps to make them environmentally friendly. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
An important announcement from HDFC Bank. A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999. HDFC.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The main news story, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that Sri Lanka is firm in its commitment to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030 and create a greener and more sustainable environment for the future. The Prime Minister, participating in the virtual commemoration of the 75th anniversary of the United Nations, reiterated Sri Lanka's commitment to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Due to the prevailing pandemic, the event took place virtually under the theme Shaping Our Future Together. In his remarks, the Prime Minister thanked the United Nations for providing support to Sri Lanka in a wide range of sectors and highlighted the importance of member states supporting the United Nations in becoming a more agile and accountable institution. The Premier also recalled the long-standing partnership Sri Lanka had with the UN for 65 years. In his message, Prime Minister Rajapaksa thanked the United Nations for its support to Sri Lanka in fighting the coronavirus outbreak. As the world takes on the challenge of this unprecedented global health crisis, it is more important than ever to work collectively on our shared challenges to overcome this pandemic. That was the main news story. Watchlight is up next.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
On to Watchlight. The residents in the Colombo city limits frequently come across many road excavation works. These sudden excavations have caused many problems to the residents and motorists. Meanwhile, the motorists and residents of the Pamankada Vallavatta area continuously complain about sudden road excavations and pipeline fitting processes in the area. This has caused immense difficulty to the residents and motorists who travel on these roads, especially the Pamankada Road and W.A.D. Silva Mawatha. The residents see many road excavation works on these roads. As a result, people experience unnecessary traffic congestion during peak hours. The local residents suspect some of these excavations are illegal. This is for the attention of the Colombo Municipal Council, the RDA, the Traffic Police, the Vallavatta Police. The residents and motorists warn if these complaints are not taken seriously, then they will take this matter up with the President. The residents also complain that certain roads are uneven and impassable after the closure of such excavations. This is another problem which has arisen due to this situation. Although this matter is taken seriously at the top level, still the problem is not solved to date. That came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow. World news headlines. Coronavirus. North Korea warnings over yellow dust coming from China. Bihar elections. Huge crowds gather at rallies, raising coronavirus fears. China warns UK not to offer citizenship to Hong Kong residents. North Korea has warned its citizens to stay indoors over fears that yellow dust, which blows in from China, could bring coronavirus with it. The streets of the capital Pyongyang were reported to be virtually empty on Thursday following the warning. The secretive state claims to be coronavirus-free, but has been on high alert since January with the strict border closures and restrictions on movement. There is no known link between the seasonal dust clouds and COVID-19. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday asked people not to be complacent during the festive season, urging them to continue wearing masks and follow social distancing. But the message doesn't seem to have reached the northern state of Bihar, where large crowds have massed at political rallies ahead of state elections, scheduled to begin on the 28th of October. All parties, including Mr. Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, have ramped up campaigning ahead of the election. China has told Britain to immediately correct its mistakes after the UK reaffirmed its plan to offer a route to British citizenship to almost 3 million people living there. The offer was made in July when Beijing imposed a strict national security law on the former British colony. Critics say it undermines the civil freedoms that China agreed to uphold when Hong Kong was handed over back in 1997. Beijing has previously warned the UK not to meddle in domestic issues. To end this bulletin of world news, we take a look at the headlines again. Coronavirus, North Korea warnings over yellow dust coming from China. Bihar elections, huge crowds gather at rallies raising coronavirus fears. China warns UK not to offer citizenship to Hong Kong residents. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news follows.
Development news is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikang neve.
On to development news. The Ceylon Chamber of Commerce will be organising the 20th Sri Lanka Economic Summit, SLES, on the 1st and 2nd of December at the Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo. The Sri Lanka Economic Summit 2020, the premier economic forum this year too, will have a lineup of timely plenary discussions under the theme Roadmap for Takeoff, driving a people-centric economic revival. The private sector has often been labelled as the engine of economic growth, though this has not been the case continually due to numerous factors. Industry specialists will come together for a dialogue on how COVID-19 will impact the private sector's role in driving growth and how they will build business models that are resilient, profitable and sustainable. That was development news. A look at sports news next.
When Tati bought a new family car, it wasn't just for the 4 of us.
It's a 10-seater van. Enough for friends and relatives too.
Mummy insisted on building an extra room in our new house.
Well, you never know who'll come to stay. We need more pillows too.
When I was studying late, Nangi would come by to help.
No, I don't know physics, but I do know you need a Munchie Super Cream Cracker.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others.
When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves.
Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikang neve.
Sports news is brought to you by
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
On to sports news. Just 12 months after Azhar Ali replaced Sarfraz Ahmed as Pakistan's test captain, there could be another change on the way, with increasing murmurs in the executive corridors of the PCB's headquarters about a younger replacement. The sports media understands Mohammad Rizwan and current limited overs captain Babar Azam are at the top of the list of potential replacements for the test captaincy, with the change likely to happen as early as Pakistan's upcoming tour of New Zealand in December. The PCB confirmed to ESPN Crick Info that Azhar's annual appraisal is being carried out and CEO Wazim Khan had already met him. The final decision, however, hasn't been made yet, as constitutionally the prerogative to name or dismiss a captain rests with the PCB chairman, who is due to meet Azhar in the next 10 days. The IPL match between Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians is being played at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Mumbai Indians won the toss and elected to field first. Accordingly, Chennai Super Kings were 63 for 7 in 13 overs just a short while ago. That was sports news. Business news is up next.
Hey guys, we've got our very own Queen Bear here to review something for us.
Okay, here we go. Is the right amount of crunch and OMG so much chocolate. The texture is so good. It's creamy and velvety and just so much chocolate. The packaging is super cool and new and there's like so much chocolate. And OMG, the taste, it tastes like so good and there's so much chocolate. Like with every bite. 10 out of 10 for me.
Munchie chocolate cream biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. NSV Wings. Reach out the high goals.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The total exports, both merchandise and service, maintained at $9,693 million from January to September 2020, as against $11,784 million recorded for a similar period in the last year. $17.74 million decline, with a reduced gap, signaling that Sri Lanka is in for a stronger recovery amidst unprecedented global economic downturn. That was business news. Economic news is up next.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The wait is over, and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSV Wings. Reach out the high goals.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, at its meeting held on Wednesday, decided to maintain the Standing Deposit Facility Rate, SDFR, and the Standing Lending Facility Rate, SLFR, of the Central Bank at their current levels of 4.50% and 5.50% respectively, thereby continuing the prevailing accommodative monetary policy stance. The board noted the decline in overall market lending rates following the unprecedented monetary easing measure taken by the central bank thus far during the year, and expects the board-based downward adjustment in market lending rates to continue, thereby ensuring affordable credit flows to productive sectors of the economy in the prevailing low inflation environment. That was economic news. Finally, we take a look at the weather report.
Hello, Buddha. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally, we take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the eastern and Uva provinces and in the Mullaitivu district in the evening. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Several spells of showers will occur in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Galle, Matara-Kandy and Nuwara districts. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. That was the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. 609 new COVID-19 cases as Minuwangoda cluster surges. Police media spokesman rejects the claim that some social media elements are spreading wrong information of locking down the Colombo area or imposing a full-scale curfew. Beerwala Fisheries Harbour closed off after COVID-19 exposure. The Prime Minister says that Sri Lanka is firm in its commitment to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. The Department for Registration of Persons halts services until further notice. Selecting the families for the National Work Plan to empower families through domestic economy and improving nutrition will be completed soon. News from overseas. China warns UK not to offer citizenship to Hong Kong residents. And in sport news, the IPL match between Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians is being played at Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Chennai Super Kings in trouble. That ends this news broadcast.